Don't
Real.
consume more than you create and promote. This gets you in the web of somebody else's funnel.
It's social media. It's not your website. You could become the CEO, but you gotta do every single job first.
You can't be too artsy because you an artist already.
Sub 2014, bro. That's racist. Saturation is not real when you emphasize your it factor. That's your edge, and that's what makes you different. Have you ever made a say, "Hey ho ho"?
What's up, art stars? It's Damon Chambliss of firstbornart.com. Back with another video for my artists in the depths. Here with Brand Visions.
Brand Visions, you already know what's going on. I hope you do. Hit the Google. Firstborn Art, we've been collaborating mentally on these creative processes and systems for a minute to try to work on our personal development, even though we on two different sides of the country. We in the same place. We both dedicated 99% of our time to being able to be free as artists and also make money and turn that to a business. Gathering experience from life and then coming back for the meet at the mines, it's like, all right, we have more to offer y'all as people that have been in the place that y'all might just be getting to.
We about to go over the systems and frameworks of what it takes to be a full-time artist. But before you start to being a full-time artist, just making money from your creative path and your creative talent in general, you got to start somewhere so it won't be too overwhelming. It's a no bullshit guide.
These systems and frameworks is what's going to lead you to be able to make a couple of dollars. Once you make a couple of dollars, you're going to be like, well, damn, am I charging the right price? It took me all this time. Maybe I should just charge more and I could just do this for 4 days. And then that's double what I was making at work. It's a little bit more stressful, but it's freeing.
I've been selling my work since I was 13. I've won awards. I've sold nationally. Brandon, he established his brand in 2014. Been tattooing for 5 years. Currently a full-time tattoo artist out in, Mesa, Arizona.
In the motherfucking desert.
Just say the desert. We both went to art-based high schools located inside of CCS. If you don't know about CCS, Google it. It's a very prestigious art-based college. We both plan the future in art, and we here today. We made our inner child proud on the G.
On the G. Moving on. Hey, oh.
So, first things first, this start with your mind. This is mental. Being an entrepreneur is mental. Being a creative personal brand is mental. Your mental got to be right. And you got to do the daily routines and initiatives that it takes to keep up with your mental health. And so you can think clearly. So you can't bring an employee mindset to this, to where you thinking,
for real,
I need to sell a beat. I need to sell this. I need to sell that. You know, you don't want to live service to service. You want to have products.
Also, that employee mindset is, I got to work this day, and this day, from this time to this time. I know when I go to work, they're going to have work for me to do. I don't even have to do nothing. I got to just show up. The employee mindset probably is just you think you just got to show up and motherfuckers going to show up. Like, nah, to build a business, this shit, like, nigga, you got to drive it. You got to really drive that motherfucker from the time you wake up. So that employee mindset is you think it's a handout or these things are to be given just because you are talented and creative and you have abilities that other people might not have. It ain't given to you. Like, you really got to still follow steps.
You got to have a high stress tolerance too.
For real.
What I learned when moving to Atlanta is stress is not a bad thing. Only if it's getting you to an upward trajectory and is going towards your goals and plans.
You can't stress about shit you have no impact over. And or you're not willing to put in the effort or research, or I just call it due diligence. Like, if you ain't do your due diligence about something, you might as well not even speak on it or even complain about it. Because did you even see if that was a problem that you could solve?
You gotta cut your teeth. The term cut your teeth, that means gaining experience, putting in the leg work, as some people say.
For real. That's crazy you said cutting your teeth. That's like a puppy when they be teething and shit and they just be biting on shit. Cause it's like they literally gotta chew and strengthen their jaw. While they cutting their teeth, they strengthen their jaw. And they understand how to use their mouth at different pressure and the finesse of it.
See, bro, I
Like
work with dogs and I ain't even know that, bro. I just learned about that cutting your teeth term like a few weeks ago, and I really resonated with it.
dogs, they'll teach you a lot about yourself. Like
Yeah.
they operate on a certain program.
Shout out to Akate.
Oh, hold on. Shout out to Anubis.
Hell
Hey,
yeah. You had wrote down internal script. So what you mean by that?
so the internal script, part of your mindset. Your internal script, bro, that's really how you respond. Let me add some empathy and some type of solution to this system of responding to people
Mm-hmm.
that might my skills. You got to think of them wouldn't have even said to you if they didn't notice what you had going on.
Mm.
So what I'm saying about the internal script is comparing your personal self,
Mm-hmm.
the world, and just your interactions. That's like the sun, the rising, the north node, all of that. We'll get into it later, but the internal script is the set of things that you automatically program into yourself
Mm.
to go through your daily processes because you're gonna feel the same feelings. You're gonna interact with the same set of energies and things. You know what I'm talking
The
about?
same
So
stimuli.
you're gonna be stimulated by all these different things, but is you gonna be proactive or reactive? Are you gonna have an arsenal to prepare for that? That's your internal script. Cause we already know your first impression is everything. All of these rules of psychology and power and things that we have to deal with in a service industry where we deal with people one on one.
Mm-hmm. And that goes to this all in the mental framework, but being
Man,
able to do tedious and monotonous tasks.
for real. For real.
I
I
call
was
this habits of stillness. I went over this in another video of mine. But this is included in what I call habits of stillness. The tedious things that we do and the tedious things that we avoid. The tedious things that will help our brand. So that's the looking in our playlists and studying, reading PDFs, which I'll get into later. It's the making things for your website, editing your website, batch editing your website, typing out those automated responses that are for when someone follows you on social media from your reel. But habits of stillness are the things that don't really give you a dopamine hit, but they are necessary. We gotta be able to be still and do activities that don't require us to be stimulated.
at the start of the show. Like
Mm-hmm.
thing ain't everything is not about somebody seeing you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything not about getting recognized for doing something you're supposed to do. Like you doing something that is required for the lifestyle that you pick.
Mm-hmm. And it may
It's
be boring. It may be boring for an hour.
an hour or a couple hours, or you split that hour up into 15-minute segments and give yourself a break. I'm already knowing a lot of people got ADHD. Shoot, I got ADHD, man. Like I gotta constantly write lists, try to make a schedule because I get off task very easily.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much going on, but I've been able to manage it. So it's just systems.
Yeah.
We on framework, your mental framework and your daily system for how you live your life. Because that time that you spend in the bed when you wake up in the morning just scrolling, that really cuts
Yes.
into your day.
Yes.
You still gotta wash your ass, brush your teeth. Then you gotta keep taking little breaks to get your head together and get ready for your day. This shit go into your sleep schedule, your eating schedule.
Yeah.
It's way better than you could draw. A lot of motherfuckers could draw, but the time that it take and the pieces of yourself that you gotta put into your craft, it take a lot out of you. It'll drain.
Which
You
is why
expect
rest is important. We got
rest.
to be able to do these things that may be boring. Now, what that looks like is editing a video, writing the script down for your podcast,
Ooh,
writing
yeah,
that email, Even painting,
Yeah, pain is monotonous,
you
but it
know,
better flow.
arranging a beat, all of these things, making that contract, all of these things. Like we got to be able to do this.
Opening your email, deleting your old emails because you run out of storage. Oh my god,
I got to do that now.
I do tattoos and my photos be cluttered. Like I got all this random. I gotta put it in different galleries. The most monotonous task of my whole life right now is organizing my pictures of my tattoos and my clients, their names, and all of this in a different app. Oh my god, it's so monotonous and it's not fun at all. But I feel like that'll take me to another level.
Yes. You got to be able to withstand the boring.
So basically, another thing with our mental frameworks and systems is your thinking. You might have heard people say like scarcity mindset or abundance mindset. Also, if you ever seen that movie like Limitless, where like you kind of get the concept in a spiritual aspect or in a personal aspect, like you versus yourself, you versus your own life. Having a abundance mindset and not putting limits on your thinking, that's gonna take you a long way. Like funny Marco, it's a mindset thing. On
Mm-hmm.
God for real. Like that's some spiritual shit. You have to consider your thoughts. You got to consider how you're thinking, what your thought patterns are, where do those thoughts come from, and why do they make you feel? Because your thoughts, feelings, and actions is supposed to be like a neat ass braid between these things type.
Mm-hmm. Contrary to popular belief, you're not supposed to try to control your thoughts. You know how many thoughts we have in just 2 seconds? You know how many thoughts we have in a day? What should be taught and talked about is changing your belief, changing and challenging the thought forms that you're subscribed to. Your beliefs are the grandparents, your thoughts are the parent. I know my thinking crooked. I get it from my mama. And your actions are the grandchildren. Change the thought forms that you're subscribed to instead of your thoughts.
We have thousands of thoughts a day.
Yeah.
The human brain has thousands of thoughts a day,
So it's
like
about
millions.
changing your beliefs. Changing your beliefs, that's gonna change the thoughts. You gotta believe I am not confined by my temporary limits right now. I am not a victim to just regular everyday life, so I don't have crippling anxiety, Another habit that needs to be inside your internal script, as Brandon say, is ideas. You gotta get used to writing down your ideas.
Oh God,
These ideas are how you're going to increase your cash flow, how you're going to invest in yourself.
like
Ideas are direction. And if you don't act on these ideas, somebody else will act on them. You ever have a thought, a creative idea, and you didn't act on it, then a couple months down the line you see somebody else doing it? That's because it's all a part of the collective consciousness.
it start with going with your ideas instead of second guessing yourself.
Yeah. You got to write them down. You got to act on them. You got to add more to them, brainstorm them for a few minutes. That goes into the habits of stillness and the
Like
being able to do monotonous
15
tasks.
is minimum. Like I put myself on a 15-minute timer and then I just start doing one thing. I'm gonna do one thing for 15 minutes, whether that's work on a drawing, work on a flyer, work on a tattoo design, do some shit on the computer that I really don't want to do. I'm gonna put a 15-minute timer on for real.
Mm-hmm.
And try my hardest to pay attention to one thing. Don't look at my phone or nothing. Don't go on Instagram. Don't do nothing but that one thing and watch how much you get done.
So we got to water those ideas. Those ideas are from source, spirit, God, Ori, whatever you want
Gee,
to call it.
your ancestors really is like sitting here like clapping for you and like hoping that you do your best.
Being social. We going to get more into this later, but you got to get used to not hiding from the world. You cannot hide from the world. This goes into your mental framework. Don't hide from the world. As an entrepreneur, this is doing a disservice to your brand. You can hide from the world if you just want to be a regular 9 to 5er.
If you want to be regular, don't post your face and don't say nothing on the camera. Honestly, if somebody fuck with you for what you do, if somebody fuck with you for who you are, they want to see you. doing something. The motherfucker might jump up out the bed and turn their swag on just because you posted yourself saying something that you felt like you should say, and you didn't second guess yourself, and you made sure you did the things that professionals do as best of your ability, and then you just did your thing and just hit post. Like, nigga, it's social media. It's not your website. That nigga got firstbornart.com. I got createinspire.com. The Instagram turned off. You know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself first, and they gonna remember you and look for your phone number. They gonna be like, oh my God, how do I talk to this nigga, man? I got a question, and this the only person I can ask.
Mm-hmm.
You provide value to a lot of people by being a creative and doing that shit full time. Like bro said, you have to have a high stress tolerance because it's gonna take you a minute to realize that the people that want something from you are not creative. They have a attraction and an appreciation,
They appreciate the creativity.
and they trust you and they believe in you. They wouldn't have even said shit to you. They wouldn't even followed you. They wouldn't even like your post. They open their mouth to say something to you about you to get
Mm-hmm.
your. They wanted to interact with you and connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you displayed to the world, your sun, your rising. As far as insecurities and like how you view yourself, the things that you may or may not like about yourself. So basically, if you're gonna be a content creator or a service person or a art person, like you consign or you serve or you display, lean in to those qualities that make you who you are. Lean into your individuality.
Mm-hmm.
Your individuality and don't second guess it. I remember me and this dude, bro. We in bro crib. This dude, he showed me how to record music, how to
Mm-hmm.
edit music, all that. Cause we sit up here leaning into what is positive about ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, the people that know him would never know me, and the people that know me might never know this nigga. Same way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can't be afraid to appreciate other people. Like, don't you can't compare yourself to other. That's a curse. When you compare yourself to other people, it's a curse. It's gonna make you lazy. It's gonna make you hate yourself.
You have wrote down design self. What did you mean by that?
So design self, that's like some 33. So blueprint, design thinking process. The design thinking process is a step by step process of thinking. Even when I was taking notes on that one video I had showed you, I'm like, man, this sound like design thinking. This sound like some shit we done learned in school. He like, how do I add value to people I'm comfortable I could add value to?
Mm.
If that don't trigger nothing in your mind, then you just putting the cart before the horse. You know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about? Finding your unfair advantage.
That wasn't even on the radar. It's literally just, how do I add value to people that I'm comfortable I can add value to? Amy Porterfield has a concept she calls the 10% edge. Who is the audience that you're 10% ahead of that you can illuminate the path for? You can be a guide rather than a guru.
It's hella value that you can add. So when you designing yourself, you have to recognize yourself. When you designing yourself, it's a design. You treat yourself like a design. Like how they design the motherfucking Jordans. They selling the product. When we're doing something with our hands and selling it to others, you basically selling yourself.
You're selling a physical manifestation of something that was intangible. That idea. It came through your mind. You gathered your resources, your materials, and your skill, which we're gonna talk about, and you made something. Another thing is we're not gonna get too deep into astrology, but looking at your birth chart, this would definitely help with being an entrepreneur, a full-time personal brand, creative
Or
personal brand. Look at your 10th house. The 10th house is your house of career. So that will give you a lot of direction.
whatever sign is in your 10th house, pay attention to that. Pay attention to the meaning of the 10th house. It's the career. So basically, career that has to do with consistency and literally day to day processes that's going to profit you weekly, monthly, and yearly. Career structure. A lot of people that's 27 through 29, they get in to the point where this shit getting important to them. Sometimes it's hard for people to look towards religion because it don't say your name there. Your name there. Like I could look at my birth chart, my name right there, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all of these things. It adds up. These readings add up to who I was stamped as when I was born, and how the clock moves from when I was born to now. To me, it don't matter what system, because a lot of motherfuckers haven't scratched the surface. Read this. You see, put your name, date, birthday, time. You're going to see a picture of yourself in a spiritual format.
Last thing for the mental time management. We touched on it a little bit before, but you got to be present and in the moment and not operating from a dull cognitive function.
When I wake up, I'd be like, I got to start doing something that's going to progress me. Like, you ever got up early as and you be like, damn, nobody's awake? Who's
Mm-hmm.
up? Something. Nah, nigga, you're up.
Mm-hmm.
You're It's your time.
Tend
God
to
will
yourself. Tend to your destiny.
make a list of 10 things that you got to do for you. Like as an artist and a creative, we got to operate in between people of all different belief systems.
I'm glad you said that because I almost missed over that point.
For
Don't
real.
consume more than you create and promote. This gets you in the web of somebody else's funnel.
For real. You in the rabbit hole now.
You a creator. You a thought leader.
You are a
If you
creator.
don't want to call yourself a content creator, I know that term kind of watered down now, but you a
Flash.
thought leader. You a infopreneur. You a creative infopreneur. You a solopreneur. You all of this. Creative entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. You got to put your message out. You got to share yourself.
For
The
real.
things you made tangible that was once untangible because it was located in your mind.
You got to be an individual. Don't,
Express your individuality to the world.
for real.
Don't get caught up in somebody else's individuality. Because most likely, they going off the 48 laws of power.
Create and promote. You said create and promote. Don't consume more than you. So that's like greater than, less than.
mm,
You know what I'm talking about?
mm.
Consume it. This is your one thing. You could consume, consume, consume. You could react. You could download all this in your mind. Or you could create and or promote some creative stuff that you resonate with. Because for us creatives, bro, promotion is it literally will pay our bills, bro. Somebody telling they friend, this who I got it from, this his phone number, or this his Instagram. That shit really will feed a nigga, bro. I done made so much money off of
Referrals.
her and just people showing love. I even today, I'm like, damn, 6 stories mention you. Like, you know how people have, so you can't really share it. Like, they like, yeah, that's me, or that's my man's. He do my tattoos. Like, look at what he doing. It's just like, bro, when you rep yourself, bro, people will rep you too, but you gotta be able to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
Create and promote, because it becomes like a synergy. Nah, when you consume, you're gonna have a bad taste in your mouth. Like, nah, I need to look for things that I can consume that's gonna add to me and make me
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, that's going to add to my self education.
Moving on. Hey, oh.
Okay, coming out of the mental, the brand. The brand comes first. What to
No,
post for your brand, your process, long and short form videos of your anecdotal experience. All of this is going to determine the personality of your brand. So this is one of the systems that you need to make any income from
yeah,
your creative entrepreneurship. What is your brand? You got to figure that out. And that goes into the design self.
you got to start off with what does a brand mean? Like, what is the impression that you're leaving on the world? Your brand is what you do, and that's gonna lead you to your money. Oh God, I tell people, like, find out what your name means. That's who you are. That's who you are. Do something related to what your first or your last name means. My last name Turner. A turner is just somebody that use tools that turn. And nigga, you know how many different tools turn and do this and that?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a car. It could be a tattoo machine. It could be a paintbrush.
The
It could
codes be in our name.
the code really be in who you are. I try not to get people to go in that rabbit hole, that red pill rabbit hole. Not even concerning like dating in the opposite sex. I'm just talking about power scenarios because when niggas get grown, they need money. And you're gonna get tired of doing shit you don't want to do. When you find out what your brand is, make sure that that shit comes first. That goes into dog. What do you post? What do you be posting on online? What do you want people to see? These networks realize that it's actually kind of easy for you to make some money on a free thing. They're going to stipulate you according to the algorithm. The algorithm constantly changes. Don't be too eccentric in your delivery, being vague, having no context. I'm gonna interject this one. Posting things about your personal life, like for real, at all costs, unless your audience, y'all parasocial, but if you're on there selling a product or you making money a certain way, just be that brand.
Mm-hmm.
Literally that brand. Just do that. And you'll see a whole difference. Like don't be trying to be different, basically. Oh God,
You
like
just gotta be yourself. You can't be too artsy because you an artist already. That goes into the personality of your brand. I'm gonna quote Dan Cole. So your brand is your story, and your story is what sells.
he like a basketball coach for creatives and business people. He'd be like, look, you have to do this. Just do this, in this way. Matter of fact, I got a mind map. Put it up right here.
The most profitable niche is you. I realized this after years of pain. Excruciating pain caused by the first piece of advice you'll hear when you first embark on your journey to become a free individual. Niche down. Just like the social matrix, there is a business matrix.
All of your anecdotal experience is gonna add to your brand. It's gonna follow you in the present.
So basically, the things that I've been through that help me do what I do right now, that's part of who I am, like, and who I should present to other people.
Exactly. Which is gonna go into the next thing, skill.
Moving on. Hey, oh. You gotta work on your skill, bro, or you gonna feel inadequate, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna feel inadequate against things that you gonna compare yourself to involuntarily. Like you're gonna always compare yourself to shit until you get over yourself. You gotta keep working on your craft consistently. And when you're only focused on money, you gonna turn yourself into a prostitute, basically. That's a big reason why I put a lot of time into what I do because I don't want to have to be involved with other complications when I'm
Yeah.
all into something. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I already got this framework that comes naturally. So let me come up with a system. Let me use social media to promote what I got. Let me get in some people's face. Let me rub shoulders, shake some hands.
And look up a video of people that expertise in different things. Like,
Yes.
if you look up how to grow your Instagram 2024, how to get more clients as a nail artist 2024,
How to draw hands better.
man. And then your algorithm will start showing you reels like that. You being an individual, use the apps on your phone and the websites that you use to benefit who you are as a person and what your skills relate to. Because you can turn it into money. Literally, look up careers if you could draw. Like different ways to sell art. Like they'll tell you a rug, a painting, a t-shirt, a stick.
Prints.
But marketing is another part of it too.
Yeah, we gonna get to that for sure. Another thing with skill is there's videos, there's blogs, there's websites that talk about the social side and the skill side of whatever field you in. It's the exoteric and the esoteric. Every field has a social side. And so your skill level is gonna add to your appeal. So adding to your skill is gonna add to your individual style to the point where they can look at a painting by you and recognize it's you before they even look at the far bottom right and see the signature. You can look at a Sheafy painting and see that's a Sheafy painting. You can look at a Philip Simpson You can look at a Basquiat. You can look at a Damon Chambliss. You can tell that's them because they added more to their skill set. They studied. They went to art school. They got certifications. They went to art college.
You could tell the difference between people that take their craft seriously and that just be bull. Treat your shit like it's a job as far as a skill. You see, they're like, okay, for 4 days, you're going to do training. You're going to shadow this person, but pay attention. You see everything that they do. That's the structure. You could become the CEO, but you got to do every single job first. And with tattooing, it's 10 other things that come before me actually sitting down and doing the tattoo that I have to have a framework and a structure for. I got to take my time. Have a system, a copy and paste message, a save response on social media.
A flyer with a QR code, a booking link.
Links, flyers. You got to go the whole 9 yards, nigga. Moving on. Hey, oh.
All right, the next part, the income, of course. Everybody want to hear about some money.
The income is the most stressful part. But once you tackle the mind, you'll be able to get the money, do the right things with the money, find out your boundaries with it.
That's important. Do the right thing with the money. Because if you're an entrepreneur and you're not doing the right thing with the money, then what are you doing? You hustling backwards. You going in a circle. It's okay, though, because you can recognize that. And it still ain't going to be no cap on your income. But it's best to just recognize that mistake beforehand. It come to a point where we get too old for mistakes. That shit gonna set us back 6 months. That shit gonna set us back 2 years. I have my own thing I go by. Is you gotta milk your brand. You gotta make multiple streams of income from your source of income. Source of income and streams of income is kind of used like interchangeably, but a stream of income comes from a source of income. So there are two different things. So for example, you're a beat maker. Let's just say you're a beat maker. You're the source of income. You can make multiple streams of income from selling and leasing beats, recording, mixing and mastering people, coming up with rollout plans for the people who rap over your beats. If you're an artist, if you're a painter, your streams of income is going to be paintings, commissions, prints, t-shirts, and if you can even have services and free resources and things. So every possible service and product that you can produce are essential to have a cash flow. And you don't want to be active for every time you make some money. That goes into having products and services. For instance, a product can be you got an ebook or you got paintings, but you can also have active income like you got a commission. You can sell your information as well as your actual creation, your actual creative piece. That's called being an infopreneur. If you're a beat maker, you can make a course how to get started in FL Studio 101. You know, instead of just selling beats, you can sell your information, not just your actual product.
That's your edge. That's your edge that you have over others. Like my edge personally, I feel like I got art school experience. I'm self-taught. My dad was a tattoo artist. How can I 10X? Because I'm ready for a challenge. I'm ready for the challenge of doing this. I've experienced, and it ties into my framework and my structure. But like, how you milk the brand, how you 10X.
I'm like, damn, okay, that wasn't good. Now, what can I learn from that? We got to take everything as a learning experience, even when we making something, even when we're creating. Just because something wasn't good, that don't mean you just repeat it. You can fine-tune things that weren't good.
I say do it every time. You fine-tune your process to where you win every time. Or you win consistently enough to not have to do shit you don't want to do. It's about client satisfaction and productivity. For all the real tattoo artists out there, they already know that tattooing is not no hobby. They'll laugh dead in your face.
And that fine-tuning can look like, okay, this social media don't really me like that. Let me put my artwork on Black Art in America. Let me use this different app to post my art. Let me work on my copywriting. Let me ask people around me, what do you think about my art?
What is copywriting? Like, can you give me an example of what copywriting is? Because I just be posting on Instagram. I don't even know. Like,
copywriting is all the details that come along with a product. It's the messaging of a product. That can be in phrases. It could be a whole synopsis and paragraph. McDonald's, I'm loving it. That's their copywriting.
I had to write it. Sorry, I had to write it down. So you basically copy it and then you write it down and then you paste it like in your bio, like your
And
intro.
your website, your bio, your artist statement, your press kit that you send out through emails.
So you don't have to say something different every time.
Nope.
Have a passive and have a passive and an active income. I mean, as creators, you gotta sit down and work because that's what we do. Just find out what you could make that you could put your name on. And when you post on Instagram, you're not just posting.
Now it don't matter what you make, but if you don't market it right, you're not gonna make any income.
Moving on. Hey, oh.
Which brings us to our next point: social media posts and just social media presence in general. Social media and social media presence is one of the things a lot of creatives just use to consume instead of actually promoting themselves seriously.
If you're a professional, a creative professional, definitely create profiles on every social media website that's popular and just put the same thing and have a professional set of images that represent you. But part of the back office stuff and the mundane tasks that we talked about before comes with updating all of those platforms. Make sure you save your posts so that you could transfer them over to platforms. Just be present because the goal of a social media platform is to bring people with common interests together because you have creators and consumers. When you have creators and consumers on each platform, things are going to naturally divide. The people that are invested in being different are most likely going to look for people that's making different stuff, like people that have the appreciation and the money to afford what you do and the wherewithal to come see you, come talk to you, and get something custom made, or even just order something in a size. Social media is put there to put you right on the front. I done made a lot of new clients and a lot of money off reels and posting and responding to people. That's going back into you can't be mysterious and antisocial like that. So get on LinkedIn. If you want to make some right now money and you think that you good at what you do, make sure you get on like Fiverr and Upwork and like how you pronounce Raya?
Yeah, Mariah. So Mariah is like, it's basically a black Etsy. Like you gotta be a black creative on, like to be on there. Not even necessarily creative, but you just gotta be a black business, which is a whole niche in itself. Now the thing with the social media presence thing is, it's cool to have a bunch of followers and engagement, but you want to deplatform your followers.
That means get their phone number, get their email.
Get some type of analytical data, as Charleston White says.
I was doing, homie, I started looking at the analytical data. The analytical data says everybody's on. My analytical data, the quantitative data.
Analytical data. Shout out to Charleston White. We need all the analytical data because you won't go nowhere if you don't know who the f looking for you.
You can't rely too much on social media because everybody remember a couple weeks ago when Facebook was down. Whether this an email list, a SMS list, phone number, you want to be able to deplatform your followers.
Sorry, I'm doxing some people, but you get the point. I got phone numbers and emails and shit. You want to write that shit down. At the very least,
A way to bring people to your page is
post reels. Post reels.
they literally tell you what to do and they give you suggestions.
Oh, God.
You gotta do what's trendy a little bit for a while just to bring people in.
Reel them in with trends. Message them, and they might think that y'all friends. And then from there, they trust you. And then they'll spend. They'll spend their money with you.
That's the conversion. You gotta do what's trendy a little bit till you see some type of conversion. Then that's when you can do things your own way. You know, if you don't want to use trending audios, you gotta sacrifice that. Do that for a little bit. Then you can start throwing in whatever audio. Not literally whatever, but something a little bit more personal to you.
They want people to spend more time on their app. If your page within 3 seconds, a motherfucker don't know what you do, they don't know who you are, they don't know what you specialize in. And if they do know those things, they don't know what's the easiest way to get in touch with you, because a motherfucker not really gonna message you for real unless you giving them the vibe that they need to or they should. Like, or you giving them instructions to. You gotta have a call to action. When you
Yup.
post stuff, you have to tell your people to do something.
Evoke
Be
emotion, then have a call to action at the end.
Make people feel something. When you post, don't make it a long ass post. Like everybody just scrolling like this. If you can't impress somebody in 3 to 6 seconds, then you're not gonna hold a lot of people attention. That's just that. This is building a following. This is building an audience. This is building your audience. You gotta be trendy a little bit. You gotta boost your post sometimes. Man, you wouldn't even know how many times I be meeting people. Hell no, I'm not boosting no post. I'm not doing. Yo, you just must be famous. Where I live, I'm not from here. I'm not from here. I didn't go to
Me
school here.
either. We
You too.
both in states we wasn't born in.
Man, a boosted post go a long way. A key tip that I learned: if you gonna promote yourself and boost a post, look up how to boost a post, but do it from your computer. When you do it from your computer, I guarantee you get better results, bro.
It's more data.
Yeah, it's way more stuff you can access. Right now, I'll be cheap on my posts. I do $20. I do $10.
Mm-hmm.
But I be seeing niggas do like $300,
Yeah.
and they're gonna give you at least what they say they're gonna give you, but you gotta be ready for it. That go way back to systems and mindset. You want to get everybody email address and a phone number, because when Instagram doing maintenance and everybody app fucking up,
And it's
you
retrograde.
yeah, Mercury retrograde happened, and then Facebook down or some shit, and all your family and friends was the ones buying your cupcakes or whatever the you don't got nobody phone number because you too good to have a Google Voice.
Mm.
You know, or you too good to have an extra email address. Well, that's your bad. Motherfucker got a birthday every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's that creator economy, bro. I started trying to figure out, oh, what's the holidays? When are people gonna have free days to spend money? Don't rely on social media. Start your website. Even if you don't finish your website, man, pay for the domain or something.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for the premium or whatever, so you could at least f around with it and be like, okay, this is how I want my website to look, or let me find somebody that can help me with it. Like, that's what I call due diligence. Once again, sometimes due diligence is just picking up your phone and doing this, that, and the third. Like, all right, they said do this. Let me try. Let me just try. Don't overthink it for a little
You
while.
have something called the walk down,
Oh yeah, the walk down.
which goes
Yeah,
into customer service. So can you
yeah.
talk about that?
And this is another word I call for customer service. The walk down is very important because this for my creators that make at least like a part-time income off their craft. This the walk down. You mainly use your Instagram or your Facebook, or you text people. That's how they know, and that's how they pay you. Everybody's gonna text you like, yo, hey. People is gonna say the same thing. That's the walk down. You be like, oh, he said this. This is what you say to that person. Oh, they want this. This is how I deal with that. People gonna be like, how much do you charge? How long do it take? Where are you located? I guarantee you they went all down your Instagram before they messaged you. The first step of the walk down, somebody follow you. You got a new follower. But when somebody follow you, you message them and be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, my name is X, Y, and Z. Thanks for following me. If you're interested in any of my services, this, that, and the third. You want to do that when people follow you so they are invited to interact with you. And from there, you're going to progress with your customer service of what your industry is. So if you do custom shoes, you're going to do the consultation with them. You're going to take your deposit. You're going to understand the user needs. That's part of the design thinking process. The walk down is customer service, and it's also empathy and all the design thinking stuff. Customer service, the last thing you want to do is get an attitude with people. You might as well fire yourself if you allow somebody that's coming to you and they damn near trusting you by even hitting send, and you get an attitude with them and you mad or you talking to them crazy or whatever. You need to make sure your message is clear and concise. You don't want to overload people with information. That's really the walk down right there. Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, boom, you done. Follow up with your people, send people promotions, invite them to spend their money with you. Saturation is this present in nowadays. It's like saturation. People hold themselves back because the algorithm is showing you other people that's doing what you're doing. But that motherfucker is in South Carolina somewhere, or this nigga is in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm telling you, Instagram literally show you what to do. Saturation is not real when you emphasize your it factor. That's your edge, and that's what makes you different. It's hella tattoo artists in Arizona. I'm in Arizona and I do tattoos. You think it ain't a lot of people that do tattoos, but the it factor is what makes you more valuable. You could post up right next to somebody, and the way you do your branding and the effort that you put in to what you share is going to it's gonna show to the user.
And that's gonna be one of the reasons why they come to you instead of the other guy.
Main reason.
You also want to have promotional materials that will increase your social media following. So whether that's QR code pins, I got one on my hat right now. If I'm talking to somebody, I can be like, pull out your camera app.
Beep. I
You
got
go
it.
right to my website. QR code pins, business cards, retractable banners when you vending somewhere. All of this adds to your social media because you may be vending somewhere and you can't bring everything.
If you're trying to sell something on Instagram, go beyond making a story post. Go beyond using the tools on Instagram to make you a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker be like, yeah, I cut here, I posted it. You posted a black screen that said,
damn, why don't nobody know never want to get their hair cut?
and then you hit post. Like, you think that's gonna make somebody want to come get a haircut by you? Go the extra mile to create promotional materials for yourself that look like something that everybody else can't do. Like, everybody can make a story post, but if your shit look like some real copy, your name is on there real big, and people could contact you, it's damn near like a digital business card, but it's a post. That's how you want to make most of your shit. And they go into showing your process, that's strengthening your brand.
It shows that you care about yourself. It shows that you care about your brand.
You cared enough to put yourself out there for somebody to find you and for somebody to shop with you. You gotta go the extra mile for real all the time. But that don't mean do too much. That means do everything necessary. Test these things. Bro, just cause you spent all this time on one social media post don't mean everybody see. Did nobody see that? You could post the same thing tomorrow and different people will see it. Post it in a different way. Try something different. Like, do all the trends you can, but make sure your personality is in it. Moving on. Hey, oh.
Next part, networking in person, your in-person presence. This goes into having a team as well, so you can delegate things too. You don't want to just network with other creatives.
Yeah, like, that's not your target audience.
You want to network with people who appreciate your creativity. Not saying that creatives can't. You want to network with the customers of that, the collectors, if you're a producer, the rappers, high quality professionals in your field in general. Those are the people you want to have in your circle, on your team. I'm not saying there's something wrong with knowing other creators, because you got to be around people on the same wavelength and frequency as you. But they just got to be high performing as you though. They got to be high performing as you. You don't want to be the only one in the circle actually taking your creative entrepreneurship serious.
Motherfuckers hold you back. Follow people that you like what they're doing, but they're also kind of within reach. Even people that's out of your reach. Like, don't be scared to send people messages and ask for advice. or actual constructive criticism.
If you even confused on how to network in your field, if I'm an artist, I'm gonna go to an art fair. I'm gonna go to a gallery opening. I'm gonna just go in an art gallery. I'm gonna go to a arts and crafts fair. You can even go to like a regular networking event, but a lot of times those kind of events are just people exchanging business cards and it ends right there. Don't nobody want to do that. We got to make these connections count.
Talk to people that's also putting in the same effort as you to get somewhere. And then you'll start to meet people that's in your field in person.
You can go about it by having a mentor as well, or even just somebody on your side in your team that's been in your field longer than you have. You don't got to be an intern. You don't got an apprenticeship, but apprenticeship with them. So if I'm just starting out and I'm trying to make money from my paintings, okay, what artists in reach can I hang around? Not to steal any sauce or whatever, but just kind of see what it takes. What are their morning initiatives? How did they get to where they at right now?
Like, what's their mindset? What's their priorities? Like, what do they do every day that makes them who they are?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you was the person they were supposed to meet. Like, when you put yourself out there, you'll meet the right people, especially if you're not overdoing it. You just being yourself. And now you got 5 Instagram followers just by pulling up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
A free event. Don't go to places where that people not doing what you're doing. Like, go to people's doing what you're doing.
It's okay to be outside. You just gotta be
Yeah.
outside with intention. That's
Yeah.
another thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. Is like, I'm ducked off. I'm out the way. You don't necessarily got to be like that. Hiding from the world doesn't solve any of your problems.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, being a hermit, like, that's just only going to get you so far. You're going to constantly be on the outside looking in instead of being a part of what's actively going on in your market. The baseline is if you have a craft, you should be networking. If you're selling that craft or if you want to make work off that skill set, you should be networking. Marketing is finding what types of people line up with what value you provide and literally getting in front of those people and walking them down your service funnel to where even if they wasn't about to buy something from you, they about to follow you for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They about to watch your story every day
Mm-hmm.
until you post something that is attainable for them. It's like a job or a hustle. Your hustle has to turn into a business or a career.
Mm-hmm.
You can't never get settled and you got to keep going up. So networking is going to be key. Like, people don't need to be out here trying to be different. Yeah, different is a good thing. But what I'm saying is, like, go against the grain.
Yeah.
Like,
networking is important because networking and money go hand in hand. Relationships and money go hand in hand. So as an entrepreneur, a creative entrepreneur, you want to have a mindset, instead of thinking I need to make some money, you want to think, how can I expand my network? Or I need to expand my network. I need to get out of this bubble. I need to expand this. I need to expand past this scene. This is going to expand my income. I need to increase my social media presence. That's going to expand my income. And there's no cap on it.
yeah, nobody's stopping you from doing that.
Except your mind.
Your mind, it'll delay a lot of things, but that goes into networking and keeping people around you that can at least care or be interested, show interest, or hold you accountable. What it is that y'all have in common, or what you do at least. And you got to look up to other people to be like, I don't want to be just like you. I don't want to have what you have. I want to learn what you might know that got you to live like you live. What confuses me so much is when even when you meet people in person that do the same shit you do, you might have been the only person that typed that shit into YouTube, bro. It blows my mind, dog. Like, motherfuckers will look up everything on a timeline. They'll look at they'll stalk people online, but they won't go type something into YouTube to find an answer.
Mm-hmm.
And watch an 11 to 20-minute video, even in the background, to find out, oh, this was somebody that actually makes money off this says to do. Let me give it a try.
The ego, man. The ego. As an entrepreneur, you don't have to be alone. A big pain point and self-inflicted wound of being an entrepreneur is being alone and doing everything alone and being so isolated because you just in the lab working so much. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's self-inflicted. It's a non-productive thought form that a lot of entrepreneurs have subscribed to. But as a creative entrepreneur, you don't have to subscribe to that. You got a creative way of thinking. So why is you letting this non-creative way of going about life hinder you?
You're not going to bother nobody by expressing your individuality. You're basically doing yourself a disservice by conforming to what's easy and what's right in front of you and what's convenient and what's directly applicable and what your friends is doing and what opinionated people around you say. You're going to do yourself a disservice. Moving on. Hey, oh.
Now, another part, technically the last part, is the back office work and the legal side. So that's the paperwork, accounts, keeping track of things, copywriting, like we said, the bios, the press kits, contracts for commissions, clients, so you can get residual income for whatever, whether you're a producer and royalties. That can be something as simple as having a custom email. So it's not just fbornart@gmail.com. Instead, you gonna send this to Damon@firstbornart.com. So when I send out my email list, it's not gonna go to their spam folder because it's from a custom domain. Something simple as that.
It's hella stuff that you want to do when you decide, like, okay, I want to make some money from this, or somebody just paid you from something that you create. You want to get your LLC and you want to get a phone number that's separate than your own phone number, and you want to get an email that's separate than your own email, and you want to have a social media presence that is not your face and you and what you're doing today or what you eating or what your family did or your friends did. You want to have a social media presence that is strictly a menu of your business services and a documentation of the process and what you do. Like, you want to decide on, that separation of yourself. Unless it applies to an inspirational lifestyle that has to do with your creativity, then you kind of want to just keep working on that development of your network and your products and like the walk down process that we was talking about. So you want to do some back office stuff, but I say the only important thing that you will worry about before like financial stuff is like having that separate name and presence to where you separate that for yourself, and then it gives you like, oh, all right, this my new job, this my side hustle. I'm trying to turn it into a career because I seen somebody do it.
Yeah, and I made a video on this before of Andrew Tate said this. It's about the message, and we ain't gonna focus on the messenger. Don't get legal before you get rich. And this kind of related to a video I did. Release what you've been working on. Don't wait till it's copyrighted and till you got the LLC trademarked and all of this. The reason why we put the back office stuff last on the list is because it's a priority, but it shouldn't be the main priority. When we focus on the back office stuff, like, oh, I need this trademarked, we flattering ourselves way too much.
You seeing what somebody else presented you with already.
Yeah.
It's a building process to develop that presentation. So you got to go through those steps yourself.
You don't need to wait till you got an LLC to start your clothing line. Figure out your system, your marketing system, so you can bring money in. Then go buy that. Then go trademark this. Then go do this and that.
Watch 20 YouTube videos on your field of expertise before you start spending money. YouTube is free.
Make a playlist. I did a video on this too. Gather your digital resources. Make a playlist. Whether this is on YouTube, whether this is the newsletters you subscribe to, screenshots. This need to be organized. You don't want your digital resources to get lost.
Especially if your service depends on you taking a picture or making a video. Like you want to have that categorized. Once you start making money off your craft, people are gonna say same things over and over to you, and you got to be prepared to just get in mode and respond accordingly, so that you can have that life that you wanted.
Cause you got to do that at a job anyway. You got to do the same thing every day at work, pretty much. You got to get used to that with your creative passion.
At the point you have to delegate tasks and do administrative things is when the time that it takes you to perform your task is like, you know what I'm saying, the majority of your day. You know, then it's just like, all right, well, how serious this is, I have to get this done by a certain time. I have to do this today. But it's becoming more of my whole day. So delegating tasks, that's when you tag your friends in, bro. Like
Yeah.
your friends that's good, really good at a certain thing, even if you gotta show them a YouTube video of how to do a certain thing, or if you could show them yourself. Like Damon taught me how to record my own music. And then we collaborated together and learned stuff together after that. To the point where it ain't nothing that he could do for me that I can't do for myself, and vice versa. And that's a case of building each other up. But you want to do your due diligence in the terms of being the expert amongst your immediate network. You want to lean into what you good at, but don't overwork yourself trying to be a jack of all trades. You don't want to be a jack of all trades, bro. I spent too many years trying to do that shit. I was just burnt out all the time. It just developed a bad taste in my mouth for things that I once enjoyed. Lean into your skills. Maximize your skills. If you get to a subject where it's like, oh, this shit too much.
Yeah.
You might meet somebody that specializes in that, and then that's the weight off your shoulders. That's delicate.
Yeah. And that goes into the self-inflicted wound of being alone. You don't got to do everything alone as an entrepreneur. We got to align with our people. We got to align with our tribe. Yeah, man. So we just went over a lot. A no bullshit guide on what it takes to make some type of money to full time as a creative entrepreneur. It's Damon Chandler of firstbornart.com.
I'm Brand Visions. You can catch me on Instagram or YouTube, Tattered by Visions, Brand Visions.
We appreciate y'all engagement. I'll catch y'all on the next video. If you like this video, click the podcast tab on my channel. Check out the Artists in the Depths podcast to get more value for all my creatives, spiritualists, all of that.
All of that. Create, inspire, enlighten. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.